Oh yeah, it's tier list Ooch time again. So I just finished Lies of P, and I really enjoyed the game, and I wanted to hit the boss tier list action for this one. This one even has like mini boss encounters. I haven't decided if I'm going to rank those or not, or if I'm going to ignore those. We'll figure it out shortly. I haven't decided yet. But anyways, let's start going through it. I also have a list on the side that I'm gonna keep referring back to with the names because I don't know. I recognize them all, and obviously I played through the game, but I don't recognize or I don't remember all the names. Um, so hopefully this handy dandy list helps me out a little bit with some of these. So first up, the Parade Master. The Parade Master is the tutorial boss. I think it's a solid tutorial boss, and I think the boss quality is like very good in this game. Very good, very consistent. But you know, for the sake of doing the tier list, I have to be somewhat like I have to be like pretty critical. I'd honestly rate a lot of these like really highly, if I could, because I think it's that consistent. But yeah, for tutorial boss, I do think it's pretty solid though. We'll go B. We'll go B. And then the Mad Donkey, I guess I'll rate these, but I'll probably talk about them a little bit less. But yeah, I think the Parade Master is a cool tutorial boss. We'll go B. The Mad Donkey, I love the outfit. I loved putting the donkey mask on for a while. So I'm gonna maybe bump up the rating a little bit for that. But I think the donkey's like an okay like introductory mini boss encounter. We'll go C. This next one, the Scrapped Watchman. This one's fucking awesome. This one's fucking awesome. I think this boss is really good. This is the first real one in the game. And I feel like if there was like a boss rush mode, I feel like with like leaderboards and shit, I feel like I could just play this boss all day. It's simple, but it's not too simple. It has enough complexity to it, and it builds up a little bit of complexity as the fight goes on when it starts adding in like the electricity factor and starts incorporating that into some of the moves. And this fight just has like a really good flow. And I love how the boss is like super relentless. Like I love how this boss is just like always chasing you down, always getting you, always getting in your face. Like I think that's more fun. I think that's more fun than bosses that tend to like dodge and tend to like jump around you a lot. Like two bosses that are like late game that I think are really good, but they maybe do that like a little too much. We'll get to them later. Um, but yeah, this one is just it's just in your face. Oh, the Mad Donkey, that's the soundtrack that's playing in the background right now. I forgot about that. Mad Donkey is a really good. I really like that soundtrack for the Mad Donkey too. I have to boost the rating for that. No, I'm not going to. But yeah, this one again, I tend to enjoy the bosses that are like less runaway, more aggro. I actually think that's more fun. And you know, this one definitely encompasses that. Like it's very aggressive. It feels like it's just always on the offensive for the most part. But it's not like it's crazy. Like there's plenty of fair openings. I really like the timings and the telegraphs in this one. I just think it's a really fucking awesome fight. We're going first S already. I think this fight's dope. It's really good. This one just very early into the game locked me into wanting to play the rest of the game. So very good fight to have that early on. Puppet of the Future. We'll go D. We'll go D. These guys are just like those really slow, really tall, really tall mini bosses. And yeah, it's just kind of like, it's just kind of meh. It's one of the few ones where I don't have that much to say. Just kind of meh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this one is. I'm not sure what this one is. Is this one on my list? Is this the Survivor or the Atoned? I honestly don't remember this one. Maybe I skipped this one. I'm going to put this one in F because I don't remember it off the top of my head. If you want to call me out in the comments, go for it, and I'll give my rating if I can remember it. Off the top of my head, I've just recently ran through the game. This was towards the beginning of the game, to be fair. I don't remember it. I'm going to go F. I don't remember it, though. Very possible that I'm just not remembering it. Some of these mini bosses are a little less memorable, to be fair. So I might F might be you know, a reserved category for, like, I don't really remember, cared that much, I guess. Fuoko is the next, like, mainline big boss. I think this one's cool, but I definitely don't like it as much as the, I already forgot his name, the Scrapped Watchman. I think where I have it right now is actually where I'll leave it, like, right next to, but behind the Parade Master. I think this one is, like, decent, it's solid, but I don't enjoy the pacing of it as much as I enjoy, this one, but it's still pretty solid, it's still pretty fun. Okay, next one, again, I'm gonna, you know what, I changed my mind. I talked about the donkey, but most of these mini-bosses, we're just gonna skip past most of these. We're just gonna skip past most of the mini-bosses for this. Maybe I'll do them another day. Ooh, the Archbishop. I actually think this one was really cool. I'm gonna go A. I like the phase shift. I thought the phase shift in this fight was cool and well done, and how they kind of, like, intertwine and, like, work with each other. Done too much talking today. I just finished recording a massive video too. It's chalked. I thought that was really cool. Like, how it's a really neatly done second phase. Yeah, I like this fight a lot. I just don't want to go too many S tier. I would almost consider going S tier for this one, honestly. But I just don't want to go too many S tier. I think for now it's a solid A. Really, really enjoyed it. Really cool 2-tier boss fight. And yeah, I liked the pacing of it. I like the attacks. Thought they had cool tells. I liked it. Black Rabbit Brotherhood. Do they do both here? Oh yeah, I'm assuming they do. This is like the rematch. The first Black Rabbit Brotherhood fight, I will go. I'm gonna think about which one I like more. Probably the first one. I'm gonna go B. And then I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to rate the other one. I'm going to rate the rematch. I'm going to go C. I don't think these are that bad as far as, like, multi-enemy fights go. My opinion on multi-enemy fights in these games for boss fights is that they tend to not be as enjoyable as the one-on-one duels. And especially with how damn good the combat is in this game for one-on-one duels, I think that's especially true in this game. With how good the combat is in this game, that being said, I think that you can handle these multi-boss fights better. But the combat is it just feels so fucking good, in a one-on-one, and I still just prefer that, and I still just think it's better. That being said, I think that the Black Rabbit, Brotherhood, it's like a freaking tongue twister. I think that these fights do it pretty well, and I like the gimmick of the first one where you don't fight all of them at once, and they kind of, like, tag team a little bit, and, you know, for the most part, it's, like, just 2-on-1, but it's not always 2-on-1. Like, I think they balance it out in a pretty decent way. And then the second time around, we'll skip around to that. I think that one's a little bit worse because there's a little bit more of, like, multi-enemy cheese. But the way the AI is designed, it still makes it not too bad. But sometimes there is some instances where one of them's doing, like, a special attack from way off screen, and the other one is also doing that, and then while you're focusing on one already, the other two are doing some special shit off screen, and it just gets kind of ridiculous. So, yeah, I think it's handled pretty decent in this game, but it's still, I just don't enjoy these fights as much. But still going, like, mid-tier rankings, because I don't think they're that bad. I remember this one, but again, I guess I'll throw this down there, too, because it fits into the category. I do remember this one, but I'm just not counting these for this video. I want to talk about the clown, though. I'm going to make an exception for the clown. I like the clown. We're going A. We're going A in the clown. The clown kind of kicked my ass at first, but then I figured it out, and I figured out how to approach it, and I actually really like the clown. I think the clown's cool. I like the design of it. It has really weird attacks that fit with the theme of it being, like, a clown machine. It's a machine. I think it's a puppet. Yeah, I think it is. Like the way the attack, like the one I really love in particular is the Fury attack, where it shoots the boxing glove out, and it can vary because it has, like, when you have to get the perfect timing because it has such a long distance. I think that attack is really fun for some reason. And there was times where I'd get a certain distance away and it would keep doing that attack, and I would just keep perfect blocking it and not close distance because I just thought it was fun. I just thought it was fun to do. So in particular, I really liked that attack. But even the one where it has like the spinning move and it's kind of fast and it slows down and it slightly slows down, slightly slows down, slightly slows down, and there's that big finisher. Like, I don't know, it's really cool flavor, for it being, like a clown fight, and it's really cool and really well done. I really like it. So they separated the King of Puppets and Romeo. Romeo, I'll go S. Romeo is really cool. King of Puppets is a little less exciting, but we'll go like top of B. King of Puppets, I honestly don't have too much to say, but it's decent. It's a decent, I would consider it like a phase 1, phase 2, but yeah, I guess they are kind of two different bosses. It's a decent like introductory boss, for, you know, the start of that fight. And then Romeo in the second half is crazy. And at first, when I first saw that really big combo from Romeo, I was like, holy fuck. But like, what the hell? How the hell am I supposed to deflect that? And then that's when it really clicked in my brain. It's like, I'm not approaching the game entirely correctly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't necessarily try to like perfect block everything. Like, that's not the best way to succeed in this game. It can be the most fun for some people. It can also be frustrating too. Right? Like, it can be the most fun. It can be the most satisfying, but like, especially for a first playthrough, I don't think it's the best way to like have success. And that move really hammered that in my brain. And when I realized like, yo, fuck deflecting all this shit, this move is when I'm gonna start throwing some dodges in there. Like, I can get some good deflects on his other moves. I got a good rhythm for them. But that one, I got to throw some dodges in, and I got to, like, you know, dodge forward and mess with the direction, and that'll make that move more manageable. And it worked. It worked. It made it way more manageable. But it was still satisfying. It was still satisfying. Like, dodging and, like, misdirecting him with the dodges was still satisfying. It's not like it took away from the fight at all. It was still a satisfying way to deal with it. So, yeah, Romeo is really cool. And maybe it was, like, the flaming moves, but gave me from the Elden Ring DLC like Mesmer vibes, his fight, and him being a little more like lean, like, I don't know, the pacing of it. This game came out before that. I wonder if there was some inspiration the other way, interestingly, because it just, and then like the design, look at his face, like it's really all connecting now. It's very similar, very similar. And I liked that fight a lot. In the Elden Ring DLC, I liked Romeo a lot here, and I really want to, it's one of the fights that I'm looking the most forward to on my next playthrough. Victor. I really liked Victor. Victor might be one of my, I'm going to rearrange this. I really liked Victor. Victor might be one of my favorites too. Victor's just fucking massive. Just fucking massive, like a Hulk or like a Bane like figure. And it really plays into the fight, and I love the sound design in this fight, and I love how you can like feel the impact of how fucking jacked Victor is, and especially when you get the perfect deflects and the combos in this fight, it just feels so satisfying because of like the weight behind those hits and like stopping it. It just like particularly feels really good in this fight to me. And it has a really odd pacing to it that was really hard for me to get the hang of at first. With the timings, I thought they were really weird at first, and then when I got a good feel for them, I was like, oh, these are actually really cool, and there's a really cool rhythm to it. And yeah, I just like his character. Just this big fucking massive intimidating ass jacked fucking character. Just throwing huge punches your way. But you're deflecting them and it just feels fucking awesome. Really like Victor. What was the other... Is there something else I was going to say about his fight? Ooh, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I feel like I forgot something. I feel like I forgot something. Maybe we'll come back to it. Yeah, maybe we'll come back to it. But anyways, just like to... Oh, I remember now. I mentioned the Elden Ring reminding me, the boss that Romeo reminded me of. Victor kind of reminded me of, I forget his name now off the top of my head, but the second to last boss in the main game. The pacing of the fight and just like the moves and the way he moves and like just this massive fucking intimidating character, like it kind of reminded me and kind of had the same, or not the same, but a similar like pacing and vibe to that. And I really like that fight in that game as well. That's what I was thinking of. Who's this next boss? Is this another mini boss that I don't remember off the top of my head? Scrolling through my handy dandy list to try to help me out here. I believe so. Why is this guy not ringing a bell? I just played through the whole game, man. What's going on? Anyway, it's another mini boss. This one's not. Yeah, it's definitely another mini boss. This one's not that important. We're going another one in the skip. Another one in the skip category. We'll get to the mini bosses another day. Some of them are memorable. Some of them are kind of like, eh. Okay. Okay, so this is the green monster. This is the green monster. The green monster, I actually think was really cool. This one gave me a lot of trouble. This one gave me some of the most trouble. Maybe the most trouble of any of the bosses, but it just took a little bit to understand. I think this boss does a really good job of introducing you to the gimmick that a lot of the enemies have from this point on at this point in the game. Oh, did they separate the phases again? That's stupid. I'm rating them the same. I'm rating them the same. That's what was confusing me. Okay, and then yeah, let's just the way this tier list. I don't like how they like separate them. You know what I mean? Like how phase 1, phase 2. Like I don't like that. I guess for Romeo and King of Puppets it kind of makes sense, but this one, I'm just putting them both A. Anyways. So, the green monster, the first half is just a fucking abomination, and you just have to figure it out, and it just has, like, this crazy, these crazy moves, and it's just very much its own thing. The second half is, like this fight from earlier. It's like this fight, but like a fucked up version of it, and it's a really cool way to do that in a way that doesn't feel lazy. Like that's the type of thing that I feel like a lot of games could do, and it could feel lazy, and they did it in a way where it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It didn't feel lazy. It felt like a really cool like evolution at that point in the game, and it really fucked me up for a bit. And then once I paid more attention to the fight and figured it out, I was like, no, this is actually kind of sick. So I really liked the green monster. It's not going to go into my S tier, but I really liked it. It's going to be top of A for now. And especially that phase 2, the way that it like twists on the earlier boss fight is just like really, really neat. I think that's really, really cool. And now we go into, this is another like version of that, essentially. This is, I believe, the tutorial boss, but like a fucked up version of it. I'm gonna rate it like right with the tutorial boss. It's a little more complex, so I guess we'll go ahead of it, but it's still like the tutorial boss. So it's cool, but I feel like it's not as cool as this one with the green monster because that boss that it was based off of was better. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That makes sense. That's like consistent rating, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Door Guardian, this is actual F. I remember Door Guardian, but this is actual F. I just think it's a stupid gimmick. It's not actually that hard, and it's not actually that, like, frustrating. I just think it's kind of dumb. I just don't really care for the gimmick. Especially, like, at the point in the game that it's placed, when you're at the very end and you're trying to, like, you know, get through the end of the game and you just get hit with this weird-ass gimmick. Like, place something like this earlier in the game. Place something like this halfway through the game. Don't place this right before the massive fucking ending area. Just dumb place to put it. Dumb place to put it. Don't care for the Door Guardian. I remember the Black Cat, but not something that I'm going to be rating for this one. Okay, I know what I said about the Phase 1 and Phase 2, but you know what? I think it's fair for this fight. Actually, I don't know. I really like both phases of this fight. Fuck it, I'm going S for both. I had to think about it more. At first, I forget the name of this character, but you see the fight. At first, I was a bit frustrated by the second phase because a lot of it revolves around like the electric moves and stuff like that. And I tend to not, like that stuff as much. What I like more is like in the first phase of this fight, there's this one combo, where they do, this one, like, it's this two-step move, and they do it over and over again, like multiple times, and then it has like a quick 1, 2, 3 finish. But the timing of the moves in the combo, they fuck around with it a lot. Like, it'll be like really fast swing, and then it'll be like really slow, really fast, really fast, really fast, really slow, really fast, like kind of medium, really fast, really fast. They kind of like fuck with it a little bit. And I thought that combo was really, really cool. And especially like deflecting and getting in the deflect groove and getting the perfect deflects in that combo is fucking awesome. I really liked that combo. That is probably my favorite in the game. It's really simple. It's just really well executed. I just thought it was really fucking awesome. So yeah, I like that combo a lot. It's the one negative of the second phase in this fight for me. Well, not the one negative, but like the one main negative is that combo, from what I can recall, does not come back again. Which is a little sad because I really, really, really fucking like that combo. And yeah, unfortunately does not come back unless I didn't experience it in the second phase. Or unless I was just not paying enough attention, I guess, but I don't know. And so the second phase has just some crazy, crazy fucking moves that just look insane the first couple times you see them. But once you start to figure them out, you start to figure out the openings. And the thing about the second phase that I think is really cool, if you get the perfect deflect on the lightning that she shoots out, you can send it back at her for damage. That is really fucking cool. I didn't know about... I was dumb. I didn't figure that out when I played through it the first time. I saw that in a video and I was like, dude, that's fucking sick. That just completely changed my opinion. Like, that's fucking dope. So yeah, this fight, I can't remember their fucking name off the top of my head, but this cheeser, really cool first phase, really cool second phase. A lot of neat things in this fight. It might be my new favorite. That might have thrown it all the way to my favorite. Like, learning that about the second phase, that's really fucking... Like, that, it might be my new favorite. It has my favorite combo in the first phase. This fight's just awesome. Nope. Okay, Simon. I remember your name. We'll go top of A. We'll go top of A. Because I'm gonna... I think I like this... I think it's supposed to be like a secret boss. I think I like the Nameless a little bit more. So I'm going to go S for this one. We'll go, like, right here. And then, yeah, Simon will do top of A. I think Simon's a really good, like, supposed to be, like, the actual, like, ending boss, I guess. I think it's a really, really solid ending boss. There's some fun combos. It's not, like, too crazy for an endgame boss, or for a last boss, which I think is good. In my opinion, you do not want your final boss to be your hardest. That's my opinion. You don't actually want that to be the case. But yeah, it's not easy though. Like, it's a good test of like all the shit that you've experienced in the game, while throwing some other curveballs at you at the very end, and some crazy moves, really cool visuals. And yeah, like, for how wild the moves are, the telegraphs are actually pretty good too. Some really clever ones, like one of his moves in the first phase, you can't really see his weapon when he's doing it, but you can kind of get the telegraph off of his face, which I think is really cool. I think the design of him is really cool too, especially when he goes into his fucked up form. I think it's really sweet. And then the puppet that you fight at the end is fucking awesome. Just like a really good pacing in that fight. It's very aggressive at times, but it can also slow down. Like, there's fair openings. It's not, for how aggressive it is, it's not too crazy to where you feel like you don't have openings, or at least that was my experience in this fight. It's tough to find them, but you can definitely find them. And just really satisfying moves to dodge or to deflect whatever approach you take. And then the transition into the next phase, and like how it gasses up some of its attacks, and it gets that like effect on its weapon. Very, very cool. Yeah, just awesome fight there. Awesome fight. So that sums it up, and I think this sums up how highly I think of the game. My F tiers, my only one real F tier, I did none in D. Some of these would have been in D, though. Like, if I included these, some of these would have been in D. Again, I'll have to, like, revisit. I want to do these, like, separately. I want to do, like, the mini-bosses separately. But all S, A, and B, I did 1 in C. I did 1 in C for the mainline bosses. But to be fair, I genuinely think the boss quality is that good and that consistent in this game. I genuinely do. I genuinely do. So yeah, I mean, that's, maybe I'd have to mess around with the, like, individual rankings a little bit more, but just at a glance, I think I like them. I think they're pretty good. You know, if I wanted to be a little bit more rude and balance out the tier list a little bit more, I could do, like, this. That's all I'm willing to do. That's all I'm willing to do. That's all I'm willing to do. If I want to be a little bit more rude, and try to, like, balance it out a little bit better, that's all I'm willing to go. Because again, I genuinely think the bosses are that good and the boss quality is that consistent. So, there you go. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I'll have to get around to the mini bosses another day. But the lesson learned here overall, I just think very, very consistent boss quality in this game. And I think they're just very good across the board and just really fucking fun. And I can't wait to play more of it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one.